Good. Or whatever it is, wherever you are. So it was definitely a build block just because because stuff changed. So I should probably get GUI up here. Because sometimes it's very hard to tell what changed just from the differences. Okay, so since last time, got server settings, server, vector speech. This is something I was thinking of messing with anyway. Now, this is just don't interrupt speech. I was like, just turn it off. Server, object bank. Right, all the food curve stuff. Primary homeland. Right, we have to touch on yum stuff. We need to update that, have a setting for it. Short lives. Bonus cap. No, we want to count the numbers back. Like we were just tracking which things were young. Admittedly, it doesn't matter as much. The yum doesn't matter as much anymore because you can't break it. But chains are definitely not a thing. We're gonna have to. That's the priority. Add temp home location. Speech is overhead label. That might be a new thing. There's visitor. And binary client release, so yeah. If we have an arrow to them. And they don't have speech? Her home pause record. That only does for top of stack. Hmm. And it did translations for the pluses, but not for the things that show up? Well, no, I guess there's these two. Oh, maybe that's why owner was longer. Who's Translating it down to something small. All right, so there's priority, which we don't touch. There's temp home location, which that will mostly take care of it. No, I don't add a temp home location when I search for somebody, and that's the person you would want to clear that on. So where is our actual conflict? Oh, the text labels. I suppose we need to expand. Oh, but he removed expert equals true. And my gosh, this thing is... And I could use that for this, but I mostly just don't touch them. This could all become straight up equal comparisons. Was that our only conflict? That was our only conflict. And I forgot to select the right... Oh, no, because we're at that patch because we were trying to apply. We need to do a compile check on this. I also need to check on my copy. Seems to be done. All right. Right, I went back down here. Open up windows and things. And you shouldn't need that. You do the build. Right. Directory. This isn't terribly old, so I don't think we're going to have any missing dep file things. Build Windows 329. What do we... 229. Oh, that's right. I started building a server and then got... All right, what? So mainly this was a compile check. There's not a whole lot that I can even get a pointer to. I guess I could do... Or is this feature not implemented? This, yeah, object search is actually a later thing. That was all for the stock ones. That compiles. And then we see if we can continue to go to... All right, so our immediate just patch fix. I could wait to the end of the day and see if there's anything I actually want to add to this. That is just the immediate patch conflict fix. We also have to do some stuff for at least and I could look deeper into what this does, but I don't yet know. I haven't played with it yet. So the thing that changed, doesn't. So that might be an older patch by now. Hover. That also just makes this not as important. It's still nice to know when things are yum. But it's not a big deal if you get something that's not a yum. So is yummy. No yum hover. Draw color, draw color, draw color. Comes food tracking. Oh. We might be okay. Because we used the server's yum multiplier to determine when we had to reset. Go back to fall. We'll touch a bunch of stuff. course, the unyum foods are... We don't need to be red anymore. So it's red. We don't actually see a multiplier yet. A yum bonus. Might need some new pies. Oh. For yum testing, I might have to switch the hunger factor back up. Well, I guess a simpler solution than C would just be to spawn over here. Of course, you still have to become hungry, and you start off in temperature. And you can overeat a fair bit. +4. But now it's going down pretty fast. Oh, geez. Are there still bonuses for young generations? Another problem is I'm not going to be able to eat for a while. I need, like, a bunch of little stuff. Oh, well, that's true. I can also go out in the cold, but... so what was it? I know Melt got hit down to, like, 2 or 3. Full bucket of skim milk. You know, bottles, melt paint. Filled. I want partial bucket of milk. Oh my gosh. Label empty. What else? Well, can't get a lot of stuff from grapes. I'd have to look at the food list again to see what else is on the super low tier list. I guess there's bowl of berries. Well, I think this is supposed to be pips per minute. So we could starve ourselves in 1 minute here, standing naked in the cold. Oh. All the seals. Penguins. Oh, that's right. I need, well, I need something smaller. So that's, there must still be an early gen bonus. Actually, I'm going to end up looking at the bowl, not the milk. A better pass-through would be nice too, but it's also again less important. That's a meh. And it just didn't go up. So then the question is, okay, yes, we still see it as a meh. We have not cleared our list. So that was actually just fine. All right. You do anything else with this? Might need to do that for the search arrows. Oh. Oh. That is a change. I missed that. So why did he look it up there? Instead of in the add temp home location. It's just the thing he's going to pass down here. Okay. Sure. I think my version actually does look up the person sometimes. It's like, whichever. So this is while doing the person somewhere. But in that case, we can have a single record. We have to look at essentially every locations. Oh. All you're going to do is give. Huh. All right. Could do or to stuff where we attach the arrow to the person. The complication there is that currently its living life page loads the arrow. If it's object bank, we'd have to load the arrow again. Object. And that's a graphic, that's not a sprite. So I could not use the same sort of like object ID thing that we currently use for that. And there's 3 places that we have to look at this. Something like 3 places. Down. Oh, if it's actual speech. Hmm. Alternately, maybe temporary pointers like that shouldn't go when you get there. Wait, maybe person pointers. Well, the object pointers have been an issue too. Like if it's a map, sure. Oh, maybe I need to have like an accuracy label on it. A map to an area, okay, fine. It can to a well, okay, you know what that is. To a map, okay, it's around here. If we're going to a person or to an object, then the accuracy range would be a lot finer. Admittedly, having something on the person would be nice. Well, I guess for the object, we've technically got an arrow on the thing. And I've had some weird situations where we have a pointer to it, but not actually seen the arrow, which I need to actually write those down next time I see them. Actually, I think I did all this stuff to say here's the pointed to object. I'm not sure that I actually thought of just doing it. Okay, so here's your location slip. And that wherever that's pointing is where the arrow is. And let's do all this stuff to find it. But if you had a thing that did arrow to where the location slip is, then that would automatically work for arrow to person if it was being live updated. Of course, all the arrow stuff right now is in like object search and player search. Yeah, so you've got like a sought object point. Yeah, because we only wanted one pointer. Last sought object position. Hit objects, sought objects. The find and map is going to do the work. Last sought object pause. But if we only do one sought object location slip, Add search locations. If it's a search, we update it. Update the X and Y. Guess what? This is a... Well, this can technically expire. But it'll get updated every time we see it in the map. So what if every location slip had a pointer? You might end up with too many pointers if you've got like babies. Stuff. We have to update that a little bit. We have to add something is very, very similar to this. That would be our slip position. Oh, I'd have to have all the pointer bounce and stuff in the slip. Not object pointer fade. That's for a single pointer. Do I do any screen bounce check on that? Sought objects, all of this stuff would essentially, so we already got a position in the location slip. We just need a bounce and a fade. Then I guess we'd have to decide that it was, oh, limited by things being close enough to be. That would probably have to do sort of range check. When we're drawing this screen, we ought to have some idea what our bounds are, right? Oh, you can do a little bit of proactive updates of this stuff. Fade is less than 1, go up. Bounce. That's the constructor. Yeah, so here's the only problem. We know that these things relate directly to this pointer. Well, that's if found, if update. Oh, and then the old hint arrows that do the fade out. And this thing, we were letting just get the expire ETA. But it would still be a pointer on the map for a while. And we could always add a thing to expire a slip if need. So we would try to add stuff. And then we could take the direct implementation out of object search. Object search is going to be the easiest thing to test, though. I guess I've got some maps. Oh, are we going to have a location slip for home? Maybe we could have some sort of flag for that. Or just have it not be for certain things. I'm going to take a short break, though. I'll be back in a little bit. Fire to do cooking on. Oh! Well, sterile wool pad. Well, hey, this is how you learn the recipes. Did I just have a baby while dying?
This will take a little bit, but it's important. The base won't function without it. I really do need to make a...
Hey, Sash, what team are you're on my team?
Cool.
Seven clips. Interesting. Whoosh!
Yay, I caused damage.
Shut up, Sash.
We're gonna try renaming nuggets. Oh, look, they making nugget babies. Oh yeah, oh yeah, the love, so exciting and new. Come into my stone hut. We're expecting someone new. Nugget Love Hut. Soon they'll be making another little one. The Nugget Love Hut. Wow, there's a clip.
Welcome back. All right, so we've got some arrow stuff worked out. I guess it we might actually just be able to make a arrow fade every time a location slip dies. So the things we had to add for this. All right, so I need to reference that, but this would be a direct change to location slip. And then we have to reference this stuff, which is no longer in the code. I might be able to have it in code where it's easier to reference. And then, like, say no update this patch. I may have actually put this thing in livinglifepage.h, though. Yeah. So we've got a pointer fade and a pointer bounce. All the offsets for that stuff. Those are mostly all the simple things. Oh, we've got vectors here, and then we've got all the offsets, so I don't know if it matters that much. That's what we need data-wise. So objects, find a map. I'll have to come back and touch this thing later. That's living life page. Oh, we need to. I almost need like a base initialize for location slips. Because doing that means that all of these we put that. The creation time. Might not even. I might not need a bunch of this at all. And then this has to go to all of the other location slips. So time. Update. The updates could be. You didn't have a time, I guess. Yes. Maybe some of the updates need to do some pointer management stuff. And then you'll need those updates as well. Now you weren't a loop. Right now we go through and loop through all of the location slips. So there's going to be an update. We do draw location selects. What the heck happened here? Oh, I was trying to mess with the indent of this. Now, I think these things are just based on hidden, and then the update loop for them says, are you in range or not? Well, update loop really. That's draw locations. Should be handling like fades and things, right? If it's temporary, the home position. So really temporaries are the main things we're concerned with. Yeah, there are certain situations we hide them. That's other stuff. There's a thing, something checks range, right? Home expired hidden. And that's the dist check. All right, this is the target offset. But there's a whole bunch of conditions. This is strictly based on dist 5, up or down. Hidden. Hidden is expired or the home slip is off the edge. Okay. Right, but these are all the conditions, but dist goes the other way. If I don't do equal, well, it's going to be a floating point, so it's not really going to be equal anyway. There an else here? We probably do want to do something with these. In that case. What is the update, which was all messed up with the draw before? Target pause, target pause. Okay, so delta rate was just a constant. If it's hidden, if we're far enough away, then yeah, it could be disappeared. Like this doesn't even need to Location. Pointer bounce. Pointer fade. If it is greater than 1, it equals 1. And then we draw it anytime it's less than dist 5. Anytime the pointer fades greater than 0, which will only happen when it's in range. Similar to that. We call that part of the draw location slip. It probably, the pointer probably needs to get layered differently. So that's for those 2 pointers. So the problem with this spot is we're going to get a conflict when we do this. I guess it'll be relatively resolvable. And just going to be a take both. And actually, this is going to take over that code, in essence. However, this is now has to be a loop on location slips. Okay, more of those than I thought. Okay, this is probably one of the reasons I wanted to do a function before. Do I need any real context here? I was thinking of using location slips for their purposes. Anyway. So you actually only got index. I clearly went the wrong direction. Okay. Yeah, location slip positions are just pause. Yes. Move up. M location. No. Has to be bounce. Okay. Well, this doesn't do any of the fade management, but you ought to put something there. Grid pause. Oh. Okay. Hmm. That was a pause that was kept in grid coordinates, but not a grid pause. There probably is a better way to do that. But I don't know if these ever get like a really translated to anything like that. So we don't have search. Another thing we're really going to have here is the map. One of the things that we originally built around. Oh, and I'm probably should switch off hunger some. This is where the map was made. Yeah, so maybe I might have to wait. Oh, right, all of the location slips. That one had not faded out yet. Oh, was I still? Yeah, I was. That still has not faded out. Yeah, so those kind of don't need that. I might have to have a flag or some code for. So that might be too much. If it's all of our active pointers. So I need something like, are we going to do a pointer Well, that goes into our conditions of how we control fade. Right, because that will affect homes, that will affect both. So we'd want to say if it's not ancient, well, if it's really the temporary one. So if it's not hidden, it's ancient, we do haven't done the dist yet. It's temporary. Patient slip temporary. One of those. It's more immediate. I might still need some better distinguishment. A map or whatever. So these won't. Well, there's a thing that expires. Location slip. Delete element. That's regular home pause stack. Location slip expiration. It's setting it. Okay, yeah, so this is the state update. So this is where if it was unfaded, so we were close. I mean, we're not unlike the object hint arrow, you're not bouncing it around all the time, so it doesn't matter as much. No, it's too much indent. Location slip. Pointer fade. And here's that pause again. I mean, actually, at this point, I could just about convert this into x equals times and y equals times. But maybe if it was integer, then that wouldn't end up being. Well, these should be integer. Then it would just be target pause. Those in the right order, right? Bounce fade. And you usually won't even see that. So the real question is going to be, how big of a pain is that going to be when we start getting all the birth announcements and whatever else? So I guess to test that, we'd technically want to do a map. Oh, these are also temporaries. Well, but we don't have that forced on. So we should quite see two of them. It's going to be pointing at the spot, not at the person. So that's not great. I mean, I probably could adjust the position if it is person. That might be we see how it works kind of. I don't know if that particularly faded out well. But it's not actually changing fast enough that really need to do that. Okay, now this is going to be a mess. Object search. Okay, so these actually did end up hitting each other. So actually living life.page.h is probably going to be similar. Oh, no, I just didn't set those in the same spot. Okay. Really? What was M hint arrow sprite? Okay, so this is, yeah, the sought object stuff. So we shouldn't need this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see. What happened to you? The double arrow? The temporariness of this might be an issue. that not a fro? The steel fro. Oh, because I haven't touched anything yet. That's right. Put up, put down? Why doesn't fro work? Yep, so it's 2 arrows. Although that could also be... Well, no, neither of those is a... Neither of these is a steel shovel. Okay. Oh, well. They're probably synchronized right now. Get a pointer, though. Yeah, okay. Is there something about that initial state where you have never touched something? So I think... do that. All right, so this is all... So this will jump around a bit. So I guess what we do lose is... the smoothness of the arrows. Need none of these? Well, I'm fairly certain I don't need these. Need the position? No, because we pretty much just set that. I guess I could do the old hint arrow thing in the update functions. Of course, now we've gone and done a thing that's an actual steel fro. Well, you've already found it at that. And it does not see it in your hand. Oh, right, because this is now the hint system kicking. The way we could possibly handle the update, so let's go back to location system. So I think We refresh this, and then we look at the total patch. Oh, is this in a partial state because we had a conflict? Yes. Oh, yep. Okay, sought objects. Add search location slip. Actually, it might be search location slip that would be specifically the updates. If there was a previous one, then we change the position and return, otherwise we add one. So, yes. Or we went to here. That's the hint arrows themselves. Location slips, delete element. If there was a previous one, except now it's all P. And here, this is the new in X, in Y. Oh no, this is a pointer. And did we... This is going to be a new pointer. Oh, not equal to NY. If it's a different position, because otherwise just refresh the time. Then we do that, and we reset this. This is the location not equal to old location check. And I might want to go back and do some of that to the, like, update person position. Want to be really fancy about it? Interesting. Okay, I mean, I guess that's kind of okay. A little bit concerned about the first one there. Right, I've technically still got pointers to both of these. Do I have to change my distance? Why can't I find hatchets? Can find picks. Okay, so that's a separate issue then. I knew there was some weird things in this system, or some objects I'd run into trouble with. All right, so the update looked okay. And isn't there a place? Update person home location, update person location slip. Location slips. We have to do this before the location update. That almost wants to be a function in of itself. Like update slip location. Which is a member function. Well, no, ML hint arrows. You can't just use the pointer. It has to be an int or it has to be the pointer. I think we just that. Need to change the name back. Ah. Oh, location slip is a P. Fortunately, that only really operates on moving people, which I guess I could get 2 clients going. And see if that tracks. Typo. Right. So for this to work, but how do I even get a? I'm gonna have to do person search. Get a pointer to something that matters. Well, I guess I could play around with the other thing. Except to own a gate, you have to go through all the times transitions. We could do the leader follower. Except it's probably going to be a baby. It'll be following me. No, didn't need that. Okay. Okay, so actually what we need to do... that didn't work out. Eh. Eh. Maybe turn this feature off a little bit. Yep. Okay, well, I can see the baby now. Oh yeah, it's sort of tracking. We could maybe say if it's a person, we could use a different offset. Okay. If you go to object search, can now use that function. This has to be in living-life.h. Add search location slips. I would say put this here and that there. Although I guess search is also going to be using that function. mean, they're all pre-declared. It doesn't matter. Oh, well, then the CPP didn't seem to have any trouble with it. And it put add search location slip below add temp. All right. Oh, that's another problem one. Bowler hat? Oh, no. Okay. That was actually closer. Okay, so that seems to be working for updates. Oh. And the player search stuff was partial before. The making location slips do pointers might do it. Oh, okay, that was pretty small in its basic form. Now, at some point, I want to do a thing that you can point at a person. Well, that kind of needs like a keyboard key or something. Maybe like slash follow you for nearest person. Of course, now I actually need a person. Oh, no, it's name based. There's no an easy way to. Nope, dead. Not an easy way to go to a person that you don't know the name of. If somebody just says follow me. Oh, hey, it's actually an Eve. That's always a now we should know, or rather we know if it's a person ID, we'll know if it's a person arrow. What we don't have is an easy way to say follow that person. Which once we've got a person ID, I guess I would not necessarily use my other key binding system because I think I've like for the family hearts, I did some miscellaneous keys. Oh, that affects all the places. We also switched to old arrow. So if you did something different for person arrow, that where you draw, and I guess I've only got one place that goes to hold. Well, no, two places. It's almost like I'd want to call update before delete. Arrow switch. That would be that would put it down to only two. So that would be we'd want to use something like all the code from the commands. I guess that stuff was kind of pulled out as a baseline patch anyway. No, it's not person at. Kill at. No wonder we can find it. Okay. Move near to. Where do we pick the person? Check for person hit. Oh, there's player mark. So yeah, check for person hit. And if we got an ID, then we would add a temporary location. We'd be looking a little bit at the host family stuff. Add keys, add settings. What was I? What did I have set up for the major interaction keys? Okay, that's not set up to capture it. But so we got that row. Tab is for the other baseline stuff. Baseline is lock. K is for kill. Got G. Might necessarily want to go close to kill. The point was to make that far away. What would you use to follow some? I mean, I guess it could be a text command. Finding the key be almost as hard as doing that, but you'd have to. The key would be easier to coordinate with moving the pointer to be near the right person. We're normally doing that. We normally got our hand there. Follow, find, all F. Tail. Be kind of easy to hit accidentally, but it's nearby. If you lose track of them, then you've got no way to pick it up again. You have to get their name to refresh. All right, STG series. We're on player search. I might actually just want to look at the patches here. We wanted to go U. We want to do patches, master, show, close, family. Living live page dot H. Okay. We added that to the player structure. Okay, so these ended up having to be member function. Okay, so we've got category pile. There's more interaction key stuff. I mean, anything around here is going to be dependent on all the previous stuff in some form or another. Okay, so we don't need relation distance. Don't need a test function for it. We're going to have some setting stuff. Actually, all this code is technically in this version. Like I'm unwinding all the way. Yeah, okay, so this is a little bit annoying. Oh, I'm probably going to want a feature toggle. I just saw something on doing now. Makes me wonder if there would be a thing. You do a web page, you'd have to log in with the current situation. Or I'd have to do another Lambda thing, but log in to be quick. Well, actually, that might need a server anyway, because you don't want to be looking at everybody. You do like some sort of hashtag thing. Player track. I guess you could just say don't have this file if you don't want it. Well, I mean, yeah, this is the thing where you just don't use it if you don't want it. It doesn't have any passive behavior. If show relation distance. Probably the player mark and unmark is all we need to be concerned with now. These are probably try interaction keys. So yeah, it's kind of up in this section of key stuff. If target ID greater than 0, I guess I am going to have an initial position. So I do need to get the person. So the other thing we need is player mark if and then let's change over here. No, it doesn't like to be in the same file twice. We have to do it from a split. So for the player search, I don't really use that term anywhere. Add temp location slip. Yeah, so there's the location. This is if you've clicked on somebody, so that's not going to be a concern. It's already a live object. I mean, that could be ptarget ID. Oh, that's right. I was sticking with text baby because I didn't really have time last week to figure out what else to do. And that will trigger all the right code. And I don't really need you anymore. Oh, I didn't go over to the header file. Okay, that person's dead. Okay. Yeah, I might want to go back and do the... Oh, and you're just about dead, too. Wasn't the milk right up here? You don't have a ding. Then I actually have to add that to settings, and then other stuff will depend on... when we actually publish this. Right, you're the header file. Player track key. Okay, that included a note. Did the settings even work? If I included a note. I think I might have to go back to this and see if it's at least equal. Hmm. All right, so that has to be there. That has to be in game source. Right, we added some things explicitly. Some things were implicit. We wanted to go back to location slips and say, if it's a person, I'm going to put the arrow someplace. So if location slip there's person ID. But there's a temp person. This is going to be the draw, so we'll deal with that first. That might be about the height of a person. Now, right, I can follow for cos.y for leader things without back stuff. Okay, so we're back to you. We need 2 people for this. I don't think there's an easy way to track myself. Or get a pointer to yourself. Although technically the person search you can tag yourself. No check for that. A baby. So ideally it would depend on, yeah, so that's good for an adult, and this will happen for babies a lot. But I don't know of a good way to get the head position outside the animation system. Well, it shows you how much people actually are able to grow, though. No, it's all legs and head movement. And she's old. And you're just stuck on that. Oh, because his thing just sets it up just to leave it there. So there's no expiration. Well, there's whatever the pointer message thing, which is going to be kind of the same as. I could probably arrange to use that, but like if you talk or something written. It might be okay. All right, Neo. There are a couple of places that we deal with this. So this is. Wait, is this his? No, this is location slip. This is fully hidden. Delete element. So I think what we want to do. Location slip. And then we do like. I guess if it was 0, 0, it would. But how often are you going to get that? Well, if was if you're like your home birth location, it would be your 0, 0. So that guarantees it will not be where it is. I guess I could have had like a force parameter or something. And what I've lost is it. That's not taking not gonna work for us. We need temp person. It's used a lot. There it was. That'll make that match up. This character can't interact with the follower leader in any useful way. Man, all we're doing was positioning the disappearance arrow. That hasn't really changed. Way. All right, so we want to test all this stuff a little bit. See if it's not like spammy or anything. I could publish build, but if it works for me today, then we can maybe push out some new stuff. At which point, I guess I could start preparing change logs and I would just like tag the previous version and hope we don't have to work anywhere. Or I could start doing the text updates and not even necessarily commit it. Okay. Expected version. I hope I didn't actually lose. I actually have a conflict here. New tags. Yeah, you have to force a tag pull. Even though we got 58. Wait, does that not pull the tags into my repository? Oh, but that's not where master is. Yeah, okay. Well, right. So we'd actually want to rebase this. Actually, this is probably like V58 and a bunch of other stuff. Where is the other tags? Probably all tags. Okay. Right, and then was the test. So that would be if we just had to do a patch release. Meanwhile, this would be V62 if it's a thing. So location slips have a pointer to the temporary locations. So we juggled some features. I think that was only that pretty much solidly takes over the object search. Uh, or Gives all right. Makes no. That's technically a me update to location slips. Temporary slips have a pointer to the location when close. Did I ever do a flag for? I don't know if I ever did a flag for object. To get a temporary location. I could have copied the change. So we're going to leave that for now and hope everything goes okay. If it is, we can try to commit tag and publish. Hmm. All right, so I guess it'll be relatively early. So we've got person search. Might want to do something with names. I don't know how much further we want to push this. It is time I could be using on the Twitch apps and everything else. think that'll do for now. Subscribers and to everybody who hosted me. I need to make sure I have a build with actually back at most recent stuff. So I can actually play with that later. And then that's what I'm usually on, and I'll be back in a little while.